There are 5 proven ways by which you can actually elevate your leadership presence. Are you feeling stuck in your career? Despite putting in the hard work and dedication, you are not recognized or not getting promoted, or somebody else is getting promoted in your workplace. Now, what are the reasons why you're not able to actually elevate your own leadership presence? And this is one of the reasons why most of the mid-career professionals actually remain undervalued, underachieved, and underpaid despite having years of experience. Now, I'm going to share with you the 5 proven ways. If you implement all these 5 in your current career, you can always take your market value to the next level. Instead of just knowing and doing the things which you are already doing in your career right now, it is time for you to start showing your leadership presence, and that will be a differentiating factor in your career, especially in the mid-level. Now, here are the 5 ways you can increase your leadership presence. Number 1, enhance your communication skill. Leadership is all about communication, that is, bringing your strategy, vision, and converting into the tactical planning. And your team should be inspired enough to actually move towards that. That means your communications, especially articulating your ideas, the change, and also the technical aspect of that idea needs to be understood by your team members, your peer group, your stakeholders, as well as your top leadership. Now, this is the only means by which the leader can actually create a huge differentiating factor, that is, by articulating their ideas into the more tangible, actionable steps which can actually create the action and the performance for their team members. Number 2 is cultivating the growth mindset. Now, it is very easy to say that a leader having a growth mindset, but the growth mindset not only about the learning new things, it is about understanding the new trend, it is about understanding the setback, the failures, the lessons learned, and so on and so forth. Are you actually collecting all this in your stride while you are moving forward with your leadership? If you are not having that growth mindset. If you are just frustrated, anxious, or stressed out because of the failure that you had in the past, or you have not put in the efforts to understand what are the upcoming technical as well as the non-technical challenges which is coming in your industry domain, you are not having that growth mindset. But cultivating the growth mindset will give you a leading edge. Why? Because it requires you to be aware about yourself and also about your environment. Number 3 is developing emotional intelligence. Now, if we are going to differentiate between the leaders who can make the things happen and the leaders who just get by, this is one factor which will differentiate between 2 categories, and that is called the emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is all about understanding our own emotions, managing it, as well as understanding other people's emotions and managing them as well. It requires you to develop the empathy for people. It requires you to understand where they are coming from emotionally, or where they are probably taking the emotional sensitivity. That means how they are affected by your words, by your sentences, or by your actions in that sense. That development of your emotional quotient will actually give you the huge advantage over your peer groups when you are moving towards increasing your market value. Number 4, that is building a strong personal brand. Your position is not your identity. Your identity is reflected by the values that you share in the marketplace, the knowledge that you have, the success challenges that you face in your career, and how you present that in the social media. How many people do you connect? How many people of your industry, domain, or functions are connected with you? That create your own personal brand. Your own personal brand is your personal identity as well as your professional identity, and that will create a huge difference in you taking the bigger pie of the leadership role than what you are getting by today. Number 5, that is mastering the art of influence and persuasion. Convincing anybody about your ideas, your thoughts, your vision is one of the most difficult tasks. That means people need to understand whether they are convinced about your ideas, values, as well as your strength and the weaknesses that you are representing as an individual leader. Now, in order to do that, you need to master the art of persuasion as well as the influence. It also means you need to understand what are the objections that people have about your ideas. It also needs to be understood that how you actually address those objections while you are selling yourself in that process. Now, when you sell yourself in that process, there may be time where people will take a strong objection, especially your stakeholders, especially your leadership. Now, in that position, you need to understand that how your business context is central to your thought process. That will create the art of persuasion and the influence in your process. Now, when you understand these 5 elements, you will definitely be able to create a huge influence in the market. Now, that visibility that you create through this leadership presence is going to be the differentiating factor between you and your peer group. Now, once you use these 5 proven steps, you are definitely going to change your career to the exponential next level. Help me understand which 5 steps is useful for you in this process. Help me understand which step is you are using in your current career, which step you are struggling with. Put in the comment below, and if you have still not subscribed, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that I can meet you next time with a more insightful video. See you next time.